Okay, we're going to talk about today's attempt to keep beating a dead horse, keep, pushing out products for a franchise no one cares about. I remember when, like, post or pre in game, like, every Marvel movie was guaranteed to sell, right? Every movie. Age of Ultron was my personal favorite. But you had all these other Marvel movies that, you know, pre in game that, added to the story, added to the lore. People were wondering what was going, like, how is this going to contribute to the wider universe? Then in game came, or I think it was, well, what was before? I think it was in game part one. Yeah, when that came in, it was pretty good, right? You had that. Uh, I mean, spoilers. Yeah, like when Thanos snapped his finger, killing half the galaxy. That really brought weight and brevity to the situation, and okay, they've effectively failed, and having the heroes lose is an interesting plot point. It brings risk to the universe. It brings, oh, okay, this isn't just a thing you see on the screen and you can manipulate anything to happen. It's an actual world in and of itself. But post in game, like you have all these Marvel movies propping up where the hero always wins. There's no risk. The villains are garbage. I heard that there's a new Spider-Man coming out in which Doctor Negative, which is one of my favorite villains, is going to be in it. And I'm like, oh god, they're going to ruin his fucking character because they can't help themselves. And to be fair, Spider-Man, I think, is still the one IP, one Marvel character IP that you can't, like, you have to really try to fuck him up. Like, you have to try to mess with him because, again, the point is he's just sort of like any other person, but was thrusted into responsibility. But now we've entered this age where a bunch of heroes are just propping up out of nowhere. That's replacing, the Marvel heroes that we've come to know and we've grown up with. And what you see is nobody cares. Like, not a single person cares because Marvel has done everything in their power to piss away the goodwill of the consumer and release just absolute slop to mid movies. Okay, maybe there's one that was fine. I think they're coming up with a Thunderbolts, Marvel Thunderbolts, which I don't really fucking care to watch. But let's watch a video about Marvel's Ironheart. It's coming out and no one cares. Yeah, see, they're trying to replace Iron Man. It's like, why? I get it. The actors are getting old. You're trying to phase them out, but this new generation just does not care because you've pissed off the parents of the new generation. And they're like, why would I watch this goofy shit if I could just watch anime? Have my kids watch anime, that's for children. And it be an objectively better product. So, let's give this a watch, shall we?
No, 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 no. Look at the top of his head.
Got him. Yeah, that just looks like if you buy Iron Man from some Chinese knockoff at Wish.com. Like, at least the Iron Man suit had character. It's like we know we're giving him we're trying to replace him with an inferior character, so let's give them an inferior look. It's like, but why?
Look at his lips.
God.
Alright, let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? It's Kata, aka Khalil Too Short, and we need to talk about the delusion of Marvel Studios thinking that Ironheart is going to do something. Because apparently Marvel, in their infinite wisdom, thought that it was a great idea to feed more into the MCU allegations by giving us the DEI version of Iron Man. Definitely didn't earn it, not the right to be called Ironheart or the right to have a show. We got a bit to talk about, but before
And you also see this thing where they're just trying to shove out the old as fast as possible and put in the new. And there's a way to do it where it's respectful. Like, have Iron Man, have the old actor play a mentor role and try to ease the character into it like a father figure. But they're not going to do that because the type of people who are over these movies, they don't really care what the consumer wants. They don't really care about Iron Man as a character, or they don't care for the IP. They just want to shove it out as fast so they can come in with the new. And I guess, you know, hardcore Marvel fans are want to watch this, but I feel like even the majority of people that will watch Marvel regardless, even they're kind of phasing out of this. Like, I don't know a single person. Okay, maybe I know like one or two people, but I mean they just won't. They're not into the whole zeitgeist as I am. Like, they'll watch it, but I don't think I will. I don't care for this.
I just want to thank everybody that watched the previous video. We got over 120,000 views on that. That was insane. Shout out to everybody that supported, everybody that showed love, but especially the haters. I enjoy you guys just as much as the people that show support. We defended the greatest character of all creation, who was John Walker, and we will always defend that man because he did nothing wrong. Give him a better shield. He can't be walking around with the taco shield. All my niggas love John Walker, man. But let's get into the BS. But before we do, I need you to do 3 things for me: like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And if you don't do all 3 of those things, then Ironheart is going to be the least of your problems, because in Avengers Doomsday, I'm going to make sure that Dr. Doom gets defeated by Squirrel Girl, and she's going to be played by Rachel Zegler.
That you're just like, you won't believe what we did.
Now let's get into it.
Oh yeah, Miss Rachel Zegler, who doesn't care for any of the IPs. I'm pretty sure, like, these actors, they have agencies that negotiate on their behalf, tells them all the things they gotta say, and it just feels corporate and it feels detached. And I'm pretty sure, like, I mean, would she? I think she would play better Squirrel Girl, because anyway.
So it looks like after the flop of Captain Black Man that happened earlier this year, and the admittedly good Thunderbolts, which is flopping at the box office currently, the MCU thought it would be a great idea for them to put their version of the Acolyte out there for audiences to see, because nothing's better than continuing to kill interest in your brand with flop after flop and terrible show after terrible show. Ironheart, a character that's not even a character and is only there because she was created during the all-new, all-different time frame of Marvel, and that was under Disney, so of course she needs to get that push. The same thing like those other characters: Miss Marvel, America Chavez, Captain Hand-Me-Down, Captain Marvel, who got stripped of her moniker of Miss Marvel and her gorgeous black and gold suit. I'll never forgive y'all for that. But
yeah, and again, I feel like they're creating this stereotype. Like, Marvel is the reason why every time people see an African American character replacing a character that's white, like, they're creating this stereotype, then acting surprised that people are thinking this way, right? And I guess you're supposed to just shut the fuck up and accept it, but I'm not going to. Like, I'm being that guy that's like, no. Every time I see this, you won't get my money. Will it sell? Fuck no. I'm pretty sure Marvel has plenty of money to shove out flops, but like I said, they're not getting my money. You know, I withhold the right to hold whatever, hold whatever mindset that helps me sleep at night, and I'm gonna sleep better at night knowing they're not going to get my money. Oh shit, I didn't mean to click on that.
You see the pattern, how all those characters that were developed during
Yeah, like this was obviously better, and you can tell by the look of this versus the look of this. Looks like AI. This looks like legitimate artists that worked on it, making a product for their consumer base. And it's like, why are we destroying like such a good standard that existed from the image on the right and replacing it with the image on the left? And this doesn't look bad for like a work in progress, like a whip. But after this, you're like, okay, I want cleavage, I want the thighs showing, bigger breasts, there you go.
that 2012 to 2016 time frame are getting a mega push in the MCU. There's a correlation there. I just need y'all to think about it. But back to Riri. Tell me what she offers to the MCU, or something interesting about her character that would warrant an entire TV show about her.
Who is this nigga?
I mean, what has she done? What do we know about her? All we know is she's a plot device in Black Panther emotional manipulation, and she's able to create machines that can detect vibranium, even though she has no vibranium to test it on. Hell, my girlfriend didn't even know what her name was by the end of the film, and I doubt anybody else did either. So what way should we think about this character being pushed to the forefront, other than you just created her and this television show for those sweet, sweet virtue signal points? You love those brownie points, you love being patted on the back, and you only made it because she's black and a woman. Hell, you know it's so bad because they had to wail out RDJ one more time to get some kind of good press.
Yeah, and I think most, like, just like games are made off a 3-4 year cycle or 4 or 5 year cycle, I think movies are as well. Like, I'm pretty sure this movie was proposed 2-3 years ago, and they're like, alright, go with it. But now their culture has changed, and now we're at this point where they're throwing a character and they're shoving her in and being like, you're going to accept her whether you want to or not. And the majority of people are like, no, the fuck I'm not. I'm gonna put my money elsewhere. Forget this.
This show, because we barely have any footage, barely have any pictures. We don't even know what the synopsis is for the show unless you've been listening to all the rumors. And if you want to believe the rumors, she's going to be some kind of Red Riding Hood figure where she's going around stealing from the rich.
And obviously Robert Downey Jr. was told to do this by his agency. Look, that every actor has PR, and if he was to be like, and I feel like if my character was there to sort of, be the mentor, it would be better, and he would have had a role in this movie, I think it would be better. But, he's not allowed to say that because they've created this, like, what's the term for this club where everyone's supposed to think the same way, act the same way, have the same opinions, and if you don't do that, you're attacked by everybody else. Well, what type of club would that be? Because I'm failing to understand. I'm failing to put that into words. Like, a circle jerk? Like, they've created this circle jerk where if you're an actor or an actress in Hollywood, you're supposed to just think, act, say the same things. And if they're like, hey, look, give your approval for this character, and if you don't, you're attacked, you're vilified, you're blacklisted. And him being an actor, like, he doesn't want that. Like, that's his livelihood. And you see this with Gina Carano. What happens when shit like this happens? Despite being a damn good actress, and despite everyone liking her, she dared to have an opinion that differed from that culture, and then everyone just started attacking her.
And given to the poor. Talk about desperate and hilarious. But the actual hilarious part is when they got done filming this show. I want you to think about when they finished it. Black Panther.
Yeah, and fake. Like, again, these are the people that have the mindset that, you know, the French Revolution was the workers rising up against the rich, and not the aristocracy rising up against the monarchy. So two equally oppressive powers rising up and using the workers and the people as, you know, foot soldiers. And they don't know that Robin Hood didn't steal from the rich and gave to the poor. He stole from the taxmen, so people you know, he effectively stole from the people to give back to the people.
Their emotional manipulation came out in 2022. Guess what? The show was done filming at the end of 2022. 22, 23, 24, 20. It's been sitting on the shelf for 3 goddamn years. Look at all the movies and TV shows that released since this was done, and look at the track record for hits and misses. Imagine putting out 14 projects and only 3 of those things hit. I'm talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, Guardians 3, and the Thunderbolts, because everything else has been mid to trash. Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. Because they probably went through reshoots, they probably went through changes. They said it was done filming, but not done editing. They probably, you know, took other shoots. And, you know, things like they probably filter out a lot of, like, directors and people. And, I mean, they could have just also waited, you know, for the culture to shift. But will that help? Will that help them and help make this sell? Probably not.
Even you, Loki. If I was to get a 3 out of 14 on the test, I'm pretty sure I would fail that class. So why is anybody giving the MCU a pass in this regard? I would never understand it. Crazy work going on around here. But again, Ironheart has been done since 2022, and it's been sitting on the shelf. Anyone with a working brain could understand exactly why. They clearly have no faith in the project, and if you believe the rumors, Kevin Feige was desperately trying to Batgirl this thing, which was to write it as a tax write-off, but couldn't do so because this is his sweet, sweet baby DEI golden goose. He's put himself between a rock and an iron hard place.
Why you booing me? I'm right.
On the one hand, when they drop any trailers, news, pictures,
Naughty.
interviews, etc., they will get ratioed to all hell and made fun of because they're doing the black female Iron Man show. People are tired of the pandering, and this character is a literal definition of that. So anything that you drop involving Ironheart is going to be ridiculed, shunned, and shamed into oblivion. Nothing good is going to come out of it. And then you have the other...
Yeah, now you can't hide it. Like, you have the people that are ideologically possessed, or they just say the things that they're supposed to because the people around them demand them to say it and be like, no, this is good, we must defend this. But will they watch the movie? No. Like, I have more respect for people that believe, yes, this is a good thing, and then actually put their money towards it, buy the action figures, buy the shirt, buy merch. Like, I have more respect for those people than, you know, Twitterites, you know, the people that demand everyone acts a specific way, but they themselves don't put their money where their fucking mouth is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where the point where we're at right now. Like, people, you know, the keyboard warriors on Twitter will go after you if you shit on the movie. If it ever comes out, I mean, I don't know if it's out or not. It's probably not.
And if they don't drop trailers, drop interviews, drop pictures, drop all these other things, the weirdos that they cultivated to pretend to care about these projects, you know, the ones that tweet about them all day and get more likes and views on the tweets than the show actually gets in reception, yeah, those individuals, where they're gonna call Marvel racist, they're gonna call Marvel sexist, bigots, all those other buzzwords, you know how they do.
Got it.
You are racist.
They're gonna try everything they can to make this show seem like it's so important, knowing good and damn well that they don't care about the show, Marvel, or anything involved in it, and didn't even know who it was until they Googled it. So either way they go, Marvel, they're cooked. And if you don't think that it's a bad show, if for some reason you think that it might turn out to be one of the best MCU projects, I'm sorry, God, I couldn't even get that out. If for some reason you're delusional and think there's a chance this could be good for the brand or anything involved with it, just look at Star Wars after the Acolyte.
The power of one. The power of two. The power of
Hey, ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
Oh my
Star Wars
God.
was already a dead brand, and the Acolyte was the final nail in the coffin. Now
And like, how do you ruin space lesbians? Like, they've done everything in their power to just ruin Star Wars and this concept. And this idea that people just don't like superhero shit is incorrect, because you have Invincible coming out, which people universally like. The Boys, up until the fucking weird last season, was popular. I watched My Hero Academia, which is an anime. Super Crooks, which is an anime. Hell, even the goddamn Marvel Rivals is good. Like, the fact that people just don't care for these things is a cope. Like, people are coping out the wazoo, trying to, you know, run defense for how shitty Marvel is going. Like, how shitty Marvel's doing.
Imagine you just came off multiple flops in the MCU for years. Nobody is having good word of mouth. Nothing good is coming of your brand. And you just suffered a year with 2 back-to-back flops. No, 3, because we can't forget about Daredevil bored again. And then the first thing you had to follow up that knockoff Avengers movie is Ironheart. Well, man, I kind of see why they're pretending like it doesn't exist, to be honest. All in all, to be honest with you, who gives a flying fuck about the DEI version of Iron Man? Truthfully, if I wasn't looking forward to roasting this show and making videos on it, then I wouldn't be thinking about it for a millisecond, and frankly, that's the most embarrassing part. Think about the prospect of this show. You have a black female character who's supposed to go around showing why she's the bestest ever and the smartest person in the room. The black girls aren't gonna watch this because they don't care about Marvel anyway. The nerds that are in the sphere that love these characters aren't gonna watch it because nobody likes Ironheart, so you're not signaling to anybody, you're just throwing shit at the wall. And you've been throwing shit at the wall, hoping that something sticks.
Yeah, Marvel's for the nerds. And why does the character have to be the smartest or the most powerfulest? Like, what is this Dragon Ball Z ass level of power scaling? Why can't the character just be like Spider-Man and just have its own character and, you know, try to do good? Why can't a superhero actually have character? Why do they have to be a caricature for weirdos to inject themselves into these movies? It's so fucking weird. You know, like, older Marvel didn't think like this. You know, they put in time, money, and effort to actually make the characters good. And so that's why I think Ironheart's just not going to be a good character, and it's not going to be a good movie. Because the people making this has an ideology behind them, instead of just trying to make a good fucking product, understand what makes a good hero, understand why people are, you know, watch superhero movies. Like, they throw that out the window. Like, Thor, the first movie, got a lot of single women to watch Marvel, you know, for reasons like, do I need to explain the reasoning, right? Because I think you're not going to like the reasoning I have for you, and that reasoning is because he was hot. The character that played Thor in the first movie was hot, and it brought a lot of women into that studio, right?
Thing has stuck besides a movie on an IP that you don't fully have the rights to, and a nostalgia trip film made to make people in their late 20s get emotional for things they haven't seen in years. Yeah, I don't like Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, we'll talk about it one day. This should have never been greenlit, along with Echo, the Hawkeye show, Miss Marvel, and so on, so on, so on. All of these characters have failed in the comics and don't resonate with anybody, not even the younger audience that they keep trying to capture. You clearly only did it for the virtue signal reasons, and now you're about to pay the price for that when the show drops, and all the YouTubers making videos on it are gonna get more views combined than the show will. Hopefully after the next Avengers film, they do a hard reset and get back to the basics and give us characters we care about or can care about. John Walker did nothing wrong, instead of just giving us empty black suits. Y'all let me know what you think down below. Will you be watching Ironheart? Will you be watching somebody's review of Ironheart? Are you looking forward to it? Or
no, they're not gonna do that, because again, they're so they're so far down this rabbit hole that they cannot turn back. If they do, you'll have the actors and actresses but being told by their agencies to go on strike. You'll have people who do not watch the movies, do not care for them, don't care for the product, flipping the fuck out. It's like, and again, it's not like they can't do it, right? It's not like it's impossible, because Marvel Rivals is a good game for reasons. Again, do I need to explain why Marvel Rivals? How much crayons must I have to explain this point to you, right? But it's not impossible, it's just highly unlikely. You know, they're too far down this rabbit hole. They're convinced that, no, they're doing the right thing, even though the consumer is saying otherwise. Like, everyone, like, the people that put food on their fucking table is telling them otherwise. And obviously they're going to, you know, do the whole moral labeling and shit. Be like, oh, if you don't like this, you're a thisist or a thatist. But nobody cares. Like, people don't even care. You know, the opposite of love isn't hate in this situation. Because to hate what they're doing, you have to actually care. The opposite of love is indifference. People just don't care about Marvel anymore.
Smart, sane individual and know this is going to be a train wreck. Yo, wait a minute, no bullshit. Like, I just thought about this idea. What if the show comes out and it does actually turn out to be the best thing Marvel has done in years? To be honest, that would be a great video to make, because I wouldn't even know what to say. I would just be sitting here for 5 minutes like this. But y'all let me know what you think down below. It's been your boy Kata, and as always, y'all be easy. I will see you on the next one. Thank you for all the love, all the support, all the hate. Sub, share, do all that.
It'd be so unlikely. Like, they can't. Like, it's not impossible. They just can't do it.
Peace out, man.
Yeah, and I think this is just a normal human being thinking exactly the way that everyone thinks about these things. You know, it's going to be a bad movie that isn't going to sell, or we're going to do the whole same song and dance. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the movie's just going to flop. Who the F is Ironheart? I rest my case, Your Honor. Here from Asmon, you're spitting truths. If you want Black Iron Man, you already got War Machine. Oh, God. So who else came here after the Asmongold video? Yeah, I know a lot of these people from these videos are coming from Asmongold. The Roach King likes your video, great. The Bald One sent me Asmongold watching. We're at the I don't care stage when it comes to any D+ Marvel show. Yeah, like, people are just gonna watch anime, and that will just be that. Unfortunately, I can't forgive you for giving me Robin Hood flashbacks. I finally forgot about it. Voldemort sent his regards. But yeah, I mean, yet another flop coming in quick. And that's all I really gotta say about this. Peace.